Plates ready? This is Food School, Smarter, Stronger, Leaner podcast. Want to feel amazing, love the way you look in the mirror, and perform your absolute best in the gym, at work, and in life? You're definitely in the right place. Food. It's you. It builds every single cell of you. And if there is one thing every human being must master, it's food. Because at the very least, eating, you do it every day, several times a day, every single day. You might as well get good at it. I'm your host, Shurina from Create Yourself That Today, your personal nutritionist and plate watcher, your diet guide and explorer, your fat loss coach and food inspector. And just someone with a lot of passion and obsession and curiosity for healthy food, healthy diets, nutrition, optimized human performance, everything and absolutely anything you put in your grocery shopping cart, your fridge, on your plate, and in your mouth. It's my business. Food School, on a mission to help you eat better daily.
It's the last time I talk about food. It's the last time I talk about food.
Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of Food School Smarter, Stronger, Leaner podcast. We are still in Singapore for another day, and then we're moving to Malaysia for probably around a month before moving to Europe. So we're going to be moving around, and I'm going to be teaching you everything I learned along the way about healthy food, healthy eating, healthy diets, our nutrition and food cultures around the world. I'm going to keep you posted, updated on all the food news as usual, and even better. So Singapore, a lot of people ask me, on my social media, like, what's the food like? What do you eat there? How do you stay on track of your nutrition? And today we will talk about my best advice for traveling in Southeast Asia, for living or moving, spending, some time in Southeast Asia, and what to do about your diet, about your nutrition, especially if you're someone who kind of like me and really someone who cares about their nutrition and about putting in their bodies the best food, the best quality food possible. So while I'm in Singapore, and actually whenever I go to any country where, I don't really know where to get the best foods, and I don't really have time for that, to go and search for those best foods. And, sometimes very often you don't even speak the same language, so it's kind of hard, right? But what always saves me is getting my canned seafood, either local or sometimes international brands. Most of the countries these days, they carry around a lot of international brands or items. Like, for example, here in Singapore, in one of the stores that carries a lot of imported stuff, of course, it's a little bit more expensive, but guys, your health is worth it. And plus, for your stomach, for your digestive system, for your gut, it's much safer, and there is much less possibility that you're gonna get any sorts of, gut issues or gut disasters, disastrous pants, what they call it. I actually had a minor episode here in Singapore, and I'll tell you why and what not to do to not have it. So the best options, canned seafoods. My favorites are, of course, canned sardines. I love to get some canned salmon, wild sardines, wild salmon, wild tuna for your omega-3s especially, but also for minerals like calcium, like magnesium. Get some wild sardines either in water or in olive oil, and salmon, with bones and skins, because that's where you find all the minerals, bones and skins, and also some collagen, and of course proteins and fatty acids, and also extra virgin olive oil. On really good canned seafood, they specify that they put inside extra virgin olive oil. So whenever you can find that, that's an amazing option that's gonna also take care of a lot of your nutrition needs, like again, omega-3 fatty acids, your calcium, your magnesium, your zinc, more minerals, your collagen, depending on the fish. And don't stick to tuna. Try to find fatty fish, because that's where the best stuff is. Chicken, tuna, or tuna is, I like to call tuna chicken of the sea, because it doesn't actually have much fat. I don't even know why they say omega-3s on the package unless they add that to seafood. But anyway, canned seafood is one of the safest options. And here, for example, in Singapore, I found 2 international brands that carry one of the best quality seafood in the world, Wild Planet, and I'm gonna link that in the show notes. And another one is Safe Catch. So Safe Catch specifically focuses on sustainability and the quality of their seafood. So Safe Catch and Wild Planet, I got the sardines in water and in olive oil. And then also I found actually a local brand from, local to the region. It's from Malaysia, also wild sardines in extra virgin olive oil. That was also pretty delicious, and that was of course cheaper because it's local and not imported from far away. And if you can, of course, prefer local if you have an option, because that also decreases your carbon footprint. So we are all for sustainability, and we want to preserve our planet as much as possible for future generations. So local is best if you can find that. If not, then international brands are your best bet. So canned seafoods. Then my other options, greens, mushrooms. So usually I get my pre-washed greens. And guys, when it comes to greens and vegetables, when you're in a foreign country, and especially in Southeast Asia, you got to be really careful, because if they're not airtight sealed or not vacuum packed, probably airtight for most greens and vegetables, then you have a danger, like I actually experienced that, to contaminate your gut with foreign bacteria, and your gut gonna react not necessarily with food poisoning, but your gut bacteria are going to be disturbed, because there is going to be new bacteria coming in, and you might have, like I had disastrous pants, and then I realized that I made this mistake, that I got my greens that were not airtight sealed. And I did what I usually do at home back in Russia, and I just washed them and ate them fresh. And I had my not so pleasant accident. So the lesson from this, guys, if you, especially in Southeast Asia, but I recommend to do it for any country, but northern countries usually have much less bacteria floating around. So in Southeast Asia, always get your greens or vegetables that you are not going to cook in airtight containers. Otherwise, I would stick to cooked vegetables, well cooked vegetables. That's a much safer option for you. So vegetables, I like to get my avocados that are naturally airtight sealed, right? So not cut avocados, but whole avocados that I cut and eat. And if you stay at a hotel, then just ask for a fork and knife in room service, or at the restaurant that they have many at the hotel, and they will provide you happily those forks and knives, and you can eat basically whatever you need to eat. You can't really cook in most hotels, of course, but you can cut vegetables or your fruits or whatever it is you got. So I don't usually even buy plastic stuff like forks and knives while I travel. I just get them at the hotel where I'm staying. So after seafood, I usually try to get my greens, maybe some mushrooms, some avocados. If you can find good quality pickled vegetables or just canned vegetables, a lot of good food stores also have good quality organic canned vegetables, either in some sort of brine. Just make sure there are no preservatives and additives, or sometimes in olive oil, like I used to. Sometimes I get asparagus, mushrooms, olives, either in brine or water and salt, and maybe some lemon juice they add as a preservative, natural preservative. So canned vegetables of all sorts. Again, if you get your greens, then get them in airtight containers. That's just for a safety reason, especially if you are in Southeast Asia. And then canned seafood, and that will last you for a few days till you find some place where you can shop. Or if it's a short stay, then of course you don't have to worry about that. Just get those extra items if you don't plan to eat out all the time. Or if there is a good place where you can eat out all the time, then use that. But also make sure if you get your salads there, in Southeast Asia, I don't really recommend getting your salads there, especially dressings. You never know what kind of vegetables, what kind of vegetable oils they're gonna put in their dressings, or sugars, or some additives, or flavor enhancers, and plus all the bacteria that can accumulate, especially in public places on fresh greens. So in those places, I would always recommend to go for cooked vegetables. My other advice for eating out in Southeast Asia or in any country where you travel, to find a place flexible enough, or to accommodate your diet, whatever the diet is, find a good buffet place, preferably organic. So buffet style restaurant allows you to choose as many items as you want. They usually charge per person, and you can eat more vegetables or more seafood or more meat, whatever it is you choose to eat. You can put a lot of that stuff on your plate and eat what you want. Whereas if you go to a place where you order one meal, or item by item, then you might get a lot of what you don't want and not as much as you want what you actually do want. Like a lot of times what would happen, you go to a place to eat and they would give you more meats and fish, and sometimes you want more vegetables. I always recommend, so most of your plate should be occupied by good quality vegetables. So when you are in a buffet style restaurant or cafe, then you can load up your whole plate or several plates with those vegetables. And again, if you're in Southeast Asia, or you're just not sure of hygiene in that place, then I recommend to go for cooked vegetables, at least until your gut bacteria gets used to new environment, new place. So you don't have those accidents with gut issues or stomach issues, and then basically a whole day or maybe several days are ruined. So cook your vegetables, go for canned seafood, canned vegetables. Also, things like nuts and seeds, also get them in airtight containers. Don't buy them by weight, guys, because especially in Southeast Asia, bacteria also accumulates on nuts. Those nuts are actually an item that tend to accumulate a lot of mold, a lot of bacteria, especially things like peanuts. Peanuts, I don't recommend to eat peanuts at all. But if you do eat them, or any sorts of nuts, just make sure they're in airtight, air-sealed container, so there is nothing going in, no bacteria going in. That's because you can get food poisoning or bacteria poisoning just from eating nuts that were exposed to all these bacteria in maybe at a store, or especially in the market, humidity, hot temperatures. So also get any of your snacks, any of your nuts in airtight sealed containers. Because nuts, especially macadamia nuts, Brazil nuts, pecan nuts, walnuts, almonds, they're great source of nutrition. But when you travel, always make sure to get them in those containers, because it's food safety. It's safety of your health. You might get food poisoning because of all the bacteria that accumulates on those food items. My next best advice for gut health, for digestive health, to have good energy levels, to adjust to new time, to a new environment better health-wise. Also do intermittent fasting and don't eat mindlessly. Try to eat 2-3 hours before bed, and switch to your regular schedule of eating. Maintain intermittent fasting schedule, so at least 14 hours a day you gotta be fasting. Even if you eat late, then delay your breakfast the next day. I eat once a day most of the time these days, so whenever I travel I do the same exact thing, and on Sundays usually I fast the whole day, and that's what I'm planning to do. And that actually also helps your gut bacteria to adjust to a new environment and to deal with more stress that you might experience on so many levels when you travel, flights, a new environment, new bacteria, maybe heat, new weather, maybe some other stressors in life, at work, or something else. So intermittent fasting really helps you to stay on track of your health, of your nutrition, and help your body to adjust faster and better. And of course, exercise also does that too. I do, my yoga. I always try to find a hotel with a gym, so I don't have to look for a place where I need to work out. Even if it's a simple gym, I always have my yoga recording on my laptop, so I can exercise anywhere. And I walk a lot, of course. But intermittent fasting is an amazing thing. I had a couple of dinners here in Singapore. Dinner is my meal of the day, my meal of choice for the day, no matter where I am, actually, because I like to be super active during the day, and then at night I can relax, eat my food, maybe do something else, go for a walk, and then go to bed. So I had a couple of dinners in Singapore, and I went for this Wagyu beef that is really popular in the region. It actually originated in Japan, and it's not actually the best product because it's really marbled, so it's fatty, but most of it is grain fat, so it's more pro-inflammatory than I would like it to be, but at least no hormones, no antibiotics, none of that are used, and this is a really good quality meat. I also had a lot of mussels and oysters and shrimp, and actually had some organ meats. I had tongues and livers, and that that's what I had for my buffet style dinners. And then at one of the international stores here, I got my avocados, got some of the vegetables. I even got super amazing dark chocolate that I'm also gonna link in the show notes. It's international. It's actually made in UK, and it's 100% with orange peel oil, and it just tastes so amazing for 100% dark chocolate. Of course, no sugar, no sweeteners, but it's such a nice bar of chocolate, so it's gonna be my favorite. So also gonna link it in the show notes. But yeah, those were my dinners. And to recap this episode, guys, when you travel, especially if you travel to a place similar to Southeast Asia, or to a place where all the bacteria, all the environment is so much different from what you're used to, the best foods to avoid all the gut and stomach issues and disasters, and to help your body and your gut to adjust to new environment, to new bacteria, your best options are canned seafood. Especially go for fatty wild seafood like sardines, and guys, learn to love it. Those are such powerhouses of nutrition. So wild sardines, wild mackerel, wild salmon, wild tuna, again, two companies that I'm gonna link in the show notes, Wild Planet and Safe Catch. They're international, and you can find them in most of the stores that carry international items. But also, of course, go for local if you can find them, like I could find here from Malaysia, wild sardines, and go for either the ones in water and with salt or without salt, depending what you can find and what you like, and then go for the ones in extra virgin olive oil. And then go for canned vegetables, like olives are one of my favorites. Eat your avocados, all sorts of vegetables without preservatives and additives that you can find. Go for them because they're safer for you than something like fresh vegetables that are not airtight sealed. So if you go for your greens, make sure again that they're, I don't know, vacuum packed or whatever, where there is no openings to the environment and to the air around that food. And then also if you go for snacks like your nuts and seeds, also do not buy them from open containers. Get them from airtight sealed containers. Again, food safety is an issue. A lot of people, me including, get some gut issues or disastrous pants kind of situation. So to avoid that, make sure you follow some food safety rules. And that was a good lesson for me to remind myself that I'm in a different place right now and there are different rules that work that my body might not be aware of yet. And then go for organ meats. And in general, when you go to Southeast Asia, for example, there is a lot of fried stuff, and the oils they use, of course, those are vegetable oils. They use them like all around the world, so make sure you don't eat those because they are really pro-inflammatory and can screw up your health a lot. So either go for steamed, grilled without no oil added, or just go for avocados for the time being until you find a better food supply. And then of course, if you eat out, if you can find a good place to eat out, choose buffet style cafes and restaurants, preferably that carry organic items. It's better because then you can load up your plates with whatever foods you choose. You can eat more vegetables, you can add more seafood, you can add more meat or eggs, the best foods. You can, in most of the places, you can even tell them at a cooking part of the buffet, you can tell them how to cook them. Like, for example, I myself told them not to put any sauces on my beef and on my fish, and so they did that, and that was pretty awesome. So you can do that too. So customize your meals. Don't be afraid to ask. Most of the people in most of the cafes and restaurants, they are happy to help you because that's why they're there, to help you to have the best experience. So don't be afraid to ask. And then, if you buy any food to eat inside of your hotel, don't be afraid to ask for forks, knives, spoons, whatever it is you need. You're probably not going to get some cooking utensils and a stove, but other than that, you can get plates, cups, and everything you need. And do intermittent fasting. So that's my best advice for you guys to travel safely, gut-wise and health-wise in Southeast Asia, and to enjoy your trip as much as possible, not spending it in the bathroom or looking for medications for some stomach issues. Just some simple rules of food safety and you're going to be just fine. And of course, in most places you want to drink bottled water, not just because of the quality of water, but again, different bacteria. Water can screw up your gut just as well as food can. So that's why I go for bottled water. Even like one of my friends here in Singapore, he told me that the water is really good in Singapore. Well, it might be really good, but there is still bacteria that my gut is not necessarily accustomed to or used to. So stick to bottled water. That's another good advice for you. And check out the links for international brands of seafood that I approve, that care about sustainability as much as about the quality of their seafood. And the super cool Montezuma, I believe it's pronounced, UK 100% dark chocolate with orange peel. Well, that is awesome. By the way, guys, chocolate, 100% chocolate, it's not a dessert. It's a superfood that actually improves circulation to your brain and oxygenation of the cells and tissues in your brain, and that helps your brain to function better. And when your brain functions better, everything in your body functions better, and you have much better mood. You have much more energy, and you're ready to explore and explore the world and enjoy all the new experiences. So This is a traveling to Southeast Asia weekend edition of Food School podcast. And guys, starting next week, we're gonna finish our Healthy Eating 101 course lessons, and we're gonna talk about such things as meal planning and meal preparation, simple guidelines how to shop for your diet for healthy foods when you're on a very specific particular diet, or when you just have certain requests for your diet. What's the best way to meal plan, shop for your food, do the meal prep in order to save time, save energy, save money, and save yourself some headaches, and maintain your healthy eating lifestyle the easiest way possible. Then we're going to talk about simple breakfast, lunches, dinners, why you might consider not having breakfast, the breakfast studies, healthy desserts, and how to make any dessert healthy, how to make certain substitutions to enjoy some of the healthy desserts that might not always be healthy unless you put some work and thinking into it. We're going to talk about nutrition for active people and athletes, some supplements, we're going to talk about the most popular and most useful weight management strategies, the most popular diets these days, and why you might consider them, and how to properly do them, the basics of it to get you started. And then we're going to talk about how to eat healthy and how to plan meals and eating with your family, some strategies to manage healthy eating behaviors in your family and with your spouses or girlfriends or boyfriends. We're going to talk about how to eat healthy on the go, about snacks, about special occasions like traveling, eating out, etc. So stay tuned next week, and I hope you found this episode very useful. If you have any advice that you would like to share with other people, you'd like me to share with other people that you find super useful traveling in Southeast Asia or traveling in general when it comes to healthy eating and healthy lifestyle, share it with me, either writing me an email or sending me a direct message on any social media. So do that, guys. It's summer, it's August, time to travel, trade safely, eat healthy, maintain healthy lifestyle, and till next time, as usual, eat better daily.